Hey guys, so I'm going to do my labor and delivery story. It was quite the experience. When I was about 36 weeks, I want to say, the doctor started finding protein in my urine, and so he kept an eye on it, and every week, I'd go and get a non-stress test. He made sure that, he kept an eye on my blood pressure. So my blood pressure was it was okay, it was fine up until I believe week 38, and then it started to get high. And he didn't want to induce me yet because in a C-section. So he said he just wanted to wait unless it got, my blood pressure got a lot worse. Well, I went into my week 39 appointment. It was on a Tuesday, and he did all the normal things, he checked my urine, and there was still protein in it, and he'd just gotten the 24-hour urine sample back, and he said there was a lot of protein in there. He checked me, and I was only 30% effaced. I wasn't dilated at all or anything, and my blood pressure was high. So he sent me over to labor and delivery and to do another non-stress test, which we've done before. We usually go in there, hang for an hour, and they make sure Donna's okay and everything. They checked my blood pressure, and my blood pressure was high. I stayed longer. They checked it again, it was high, and about 4 o'clock my doctor decided to admit me. He just decided to induce me. So they started me on magnesium to keep my blood pressure from going up high, even though it was already high, just to keep it stable. What they did is, instead of starting me on Pitocin first, they started me on Cervidil first. By 2, it was like 2 something in the morning is when my water broke, and it broke on its own. And after my water broke is when I started getting really bad contractions. I tried waiting it out. It was just way too painful. So I decided to get the epidural. And so I'm not sure exactly what time we got the epidural, but it definitely helped. I could not sleep though. I tried to go to sleep, and I didn't sleep all through the night. And I ate before my doctor's appointment, which was I believe it was at 1 something, and then they wouldn't let me eat at all. They only gave me ice chips, and the magnesium makes you really hot, it makes you super thirsty, and all I could have was those ice chips. So then I just kind of waited it out throughout the night, and then maybe I dozed off and maybe got I don't even think 30 minutes of sleep. And then by the time it was about 11 o'clock, 11:30ish, maybe 11 o'clock, they checked me, and I was 9.5 centimeters dilated. So she called my doctor, and my doctor came to the delivery room. Dr. Lasting was in the room, and he took a phone call, and then I felt like I had to push, and so I told the nurse, and the nurse actually had my husband come over and hold my leg and help me with one of the pushes, which was pretty cool. Then Dr. Lasting finally got back into the room. It didn't take too long, but he had to rush, and he had to put on his stuff because I was ready to go. And so I think Donna was out in 4 pushes. It was really easy, no problem at all for me. It didn't hurt, because I had the epidural. But usually, some people say they take a long time to push. I don't think it even took 30 minutes. It was maybe 15. So that was easy. And then the umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck. I didn't know that until my husband told me later on. But Dr. Lasting's a really good doctor, and he said he knew exactly what to do, just bloop right off. So I had Donna at 12:02. We got to spend our golden hour with her, which is like an hour of just the mom and dad. And that was like about, from till like about 1 something. And then my food came. It was probably about like 1:30 when my food came. And I was super hungry because it'd been a whole 24 hours that I hadn't eaten. And so I just started eating some zucchini. And then all of a sudden I felt like really, like I was going to black out. I felt awful. And I told my husband, and the nurse was in the room. And I guess she checked my blood pressure because I had my eyes closed because I was trying not to like fully black out. And it was super low. Like he said it was like, I don't remember exactly, but it was like I want to like say the 60s, like 60 over something, or I might have that backwards, but it was super low and compared to why I was getting induced, because it was really high. So she she called my doctor, like so many people rushed in. There was literally like 12 nurses in there. And they kicked my husband and Donna out. They told them to go to the nursery. It was just chaos. Like, it was crazy. I didn't know what was going on. My doctor ran in, and he was slamming, like, they say it's massaging, but no. It hurt so bad. It was worse than the labor. It was like up there. It's like with the contractions. That's how painful it was. And he's like slamming on my stomach because apparently I was hemorrhaging. And like there's nurses everywhere. One's like getting, blood here. Then I got a shot like on my leg, and then I have the anesthesiologist who was helping put another IV in. I already had the one just from normal procedure, but they were worried that I lost so much blood that I might need a blood transfusion. So she's like putting a needle, trying to get the IV in while Dr. Lasting is like on my stomach, and I'm trying, she's like, stay still. I'm like, oh my gosh, this hurts so bad. And so yeah, that's what happened, is I hemorrhaged, and he said like my uterus wasn't contracting either, so all the blood was like filling up my uterus like a balloon. It was quite scary, but thankfully we had really good hospital. They knew what they were doing. Thankfully, I didn't have to get a blood transfusion. He says I was like on the verge, like any lower of a blood count, and I would have had to get one. So after that, after everything calmed down, Donna and Leland were able to come back into the room, and I was like on like full watch. Like every hour they came in, they checked my blood pressure, and I believe like every 2 to 3 hours they took my blood. And I had so many, like just in this arm there was, I counted 13 puncture wounds from the needles, and some of the times, most of the times, after they had used up all of my good veins, when the nurses would come in to take my blood, there wouldn't be any good veins. They'd be like flat, and so they'd have to go in, and especially the next day, on Thursday, because I had Donna on a Wednesday. On Thursday, my whole arm was bruised. So they had to go in the bruised spots, which made it even more sore. And so I didn't get any sleep that night either, because every hour they came in and checked my reflexes and everything. And then I probably would have been able to leave Thursday, but because of my hemorrhage, my doctor wanted me to stay until Friday. I stayed until Friday afternoon. So I got there Tuesday late afternoon, stayed till Friday afternoon. I was super anemic, so he gave me iron pills to take for a month. And I'm still on the prenatals, just because I'm breastfeeding. And I only got 1 stitch. I tore a tiny bit, and so he stitched me 1 stitch. And that's it for my labor and delivery story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks!